This short tutorial will show you how to analyse a cost-effectiveness model in TreeAge Pro. We will analyse a model built in a separate tutorial called Building a Decision Tree. The example we analyse is this CE decision tree found in the Files view. This model is a simple decision tree set up to compare the new treatment versus the standard treatment via cost-effectiveness analysis. The model is set up with the calculation method set in Tree Preferences to cost-effectiveness, with separate payoffs for both cost and effectiveness. When we run the rankings report or cost-effectiveness analysis, the model calculates the average cost and effectiveness per patient, also called the expected values. The analysis will then use those expected values to compare strategies. If the calculation method was set to simple, then we would compare strategies based on a single payoff, either minimising cost or maximising effectiveness. We can run cost effectiveness from the analysis menu to generate the cost effectiveness analysis graph. This presents cost effectiveness information graphically. This line is the cost effectiveness frontier joining the two dominant strategies. The vertical distance is incremental cost, the horizontal distance incremental effectiveness. This makes the gradient of the slope the ISA. If the model included dominated strategies, they would not be included on the CE frontier. To see the numeric cost effectiveness analysis results, run the rankings report. This report presents the expected values for cost and effectiveness. The strategies are presented in ascending order, with incremental values for each pair of strategies. The ISA represents the additional cost per unit effectiveness to switch to the more expensive or more effective strategy. It's usual to compare the ISA value to a willingness to pay. If the ISA is less than the willingness to pay, the model suggests a change to the more effective strategy is justified. Conversely, if the ISA is greater than the willingness to pay, then stay with the less expensive strategy. Any dominated strategies would be excluded from the top section of the rankings report, since they could not be optimal. TreeAge Pro supports using net monetary benefits to choose the optimal strategy. Given a fixed willingness to pay, the strategy with the highest net monetary benefit value is the most cost-effective. This always gives the same optimal strategy as comparing the ISA to the willingness to pay. When we roll back the model, the optimal strategy based on the net monetary benefit is highlighted with a green line, while the other strategies are rejected with red lines. If you need further assistance, there are more details in the help files. You can look at the chapter Get Started Building a Decision Tree Model, or you can also look at the TreeAge Pro assistance, where they have step-by-step instructions around building a decision tree.